My name is Ryan and welcome to the Sunday the 8th of February channel update. Schedule change, right? Let's just no screwing around, let's get right into it. Schedule change, what happened? Well, Hearthstone Ranked was kind of wearing a little thin on me, let's say that much. Wasn't having fun. My kind of interest in Hearthstone Ranked waxes and wanes with new cards, new strategies, new decks, right? You might have noticed that when Miracle Rogue was suddenly becoming a thing in lower ranks, I started another series of it, right? When the GVG cards came out, I started another series of it, right? At the moment, I'm not having fun. It's just on hiatus. It's not cancelled. At some point, I might start having fun with it again, you know? But for the moment, I've just vacated that slot so that I can move stuff around and get some more variety on the channel, because the channel has been kind of stale in terms of variety at the very least. Like, the series have been going strong, but it's always been the same things, and I just wanted to play some more games, man. I like playing games. That's what I do. So, a lot of the feedback that I got on having double Isaac days was really, really good. People liked the amount of Isaac that was going out. So that was when I was doing double Isaac days. I was doing 2 Isaacs on 3 different days, and then on this day, right, Sunday, there would be another Isaac episode later. So that's 7 Isaacs in a week. Instead, I've just moved Isaac to the daily slot, so 7 Isaacs a week. 1 every single day at 12 AM GMT plus 11. Man, schedules are fucking difficult to talk about in GMT plus 11 and GMT minus 5 for, what, that's the West Coast of America, and then GMT minus 8 for the East Coast of America, and then GMT obviously itself for London. Man, if only I made some graphs. Alright, let's get that off for a second. Right, I've made graphs respectively for the 4 most densely populated areas in which you, the audience, are. So first I'll start off with London. In GMT time, here's the schedule. Don't worry, you'll be able to look down below and find a link to it in the description. You don't have to memorize it right now. I'm just saying, the schedule looks different in every single area, pretty much. So then here's it for the West Coast of America, and then the East Coast, and then my home zone of Eastern Australia. Yeah, it's very severely different. And the thing you might have noticed is Eastern Australia, my time zone, is the only area in which the Sunday update actually comes out on Sunday. I quite like that. It tickles me, actually, that the Sunday update comes out on Saturday, so I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm still going to call it the Sunday channel update, because as far as I'm concerned, yeah, that's what it is. Oh. It's fine. It'll be fine, I think. Regardless, you will be able to find your, well, not your specific time zone, but you will be able to find those 4 time zones down in the description below, linked under, I think I called them, yeah, just the new schedule in 4 different time zones. If you don't know what it is in your time zone, just figure out what your time zone is in GMT plus or minus, right? So mine's GMT plus 11, the West Coast of America, GMT minus 5, right? So figure out what your time zone is, and then just compare it to the London time zone, because the London time zone is just going to be GMT. In order to also make the schedule a little more kind of static and a little more predictable for people outside of the Australian time zone, I've removed the variation that used to exist. So what used to happen is I used to have, say, Hearthstone Arena and then Legend of Grimrock on Monday, right? And then on Wednesday, I would have Legend of Grimrock first and then Hearthstone Arena later, right? So I flipped it so that it would have different time slots, just so that it could expose it to different audiences in different countries. But the problem with that is, outside of Australia, that gets warped, and then it ends up with way too long of a time between Hearthstone episodes, right? And then, it's bad. It didn't work. Throwing that out of the door, right? So if you watch any one of my series, you'll be able to come back 2 days later at the exact same time and watch another one, unless it's Binding of Isaac, in which case it's daily, or if it's Friday or Saturday, because Sunday kind of doesn't count as a day, right? Sunday is a completely different day. Don't count Sunday. Except there'll also be an extra Dark Souls episode on Sunday, just because I have a lot of Dark Souls to share with you. Speaking of, Dark Souls, what is it for those of you that might not know? Dark Souls is a tough as nails action RPG, platformy kind of thing. It's lovely. Oh, it's really good. It hates you. It's a game that hates you. So if you really, if you hate yourself, if you're a masochist, if you are a fan of putting electrodes around your junk, and that's something that pleases you, you might enjoy Dark Souls. It may be a little too hardcore for you, the people in the last audience, you know, because you can just get like a real buzz out of electrodes. Oh, man. But Dark Souls is really mean. That said, this is not my first experience with Dark Souls. I have played the game before, so this isn't going to be a blind playthrough, although there are going to be certain sections that are blind because I just haven't experienced them. Optional content and DLC and stuff like that. For anyone that is familiar with Dark Souls, this is going to be an all bosses run, and I'm very specifically going to be going for some certain interesting weapons across the time to make it a little more fun for those of you who are familiar with the game. Following up, there's another series that's new, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of Roses. That's a PS2 game. I think it was the 168th best-selling PS2 game of all time. It's kind of the weird love child of Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game and chess, right? Because there's like this positioning element that you really need to worry about while you're also playing a card game. It's actually really interesting. I loved it. I think I got it back when I was like fucking 11 or something like that, and I just adored the hell out of that game. Played it again and again and again and again. And I figured if I'm gonna play it again, why not just put it on the channel? Play it again, put it on the channel. It's definitely some interesting variety to the kind of normal things that I play. I'm having a blast with it, to be completely honest with you. There's a few things I do in that game that are, you know, completely legal, but dear God, did they ever break the game and make it hilariously easy in certain circumstances. Then we've also got Legend of Grimrock 2, which premiered this week. If you watch Legend of Grimrock 1, the series, you'll know exactly what to expect, except there are some slight improvements, some significant improvements as well. If you haven't watched either, then it's kind of like a dungeon crawling, dungeon traversal, tile-based, real-time RPG, basically. I mean, real-time for the combat. It's really, really interesting. There's a very heavy focus on secrets and puzzle solving, which I just absolutely adore. It's a riot, if I must say so myself. I really, really love Legend of Grimrock. It's probably, the first one is probably my favorite game of 2014, even though it came out in 2011 or something like that. Yeah, I'm just a scumbag and I didn't play it for a long time, but damn, did Isaac come out in 2011? Did Binding of Isaac come out in 2014? Oh, maybe Isaac's my favorite one. Oh, what about Dark Souls 2? Fuck, man, too many good games, and all of them are going to be eventually here on the channel. Binding of Isaac is already on the channel. Legend of Grimrock is in progress. The second one, the first one still exists. You'll be able to find a link to its playlist in the description below. You'll also be able to find a link to the playlists for all of the other premiering series in the description below as well. And then Dark Souls 2 is eventually going to be on the channel as soon as I finish Dark Souls 1, really. Because Dark Souls 2 is about to get this huge content patch called the Sins of the First Scholar, and at the same time I'm going to pick up all the DLC and I'm going to play through it all. A lot of it is going to be blind because I pretty much just sped through the minimal amount of content that I had to interact with in that game, because it was actually how I entered the Dark Souls series, and it was fucking hard. Okay. In lieu of doing a vlog, this week I asked on Twitter what you wanted to know, and I specifically meant about the channel, but Jamie Sauce asked, I want you to know about your life. Cool. I'm a student person studying software engineering in real life. That's the thing I probably haven't talked about before. Yeah, that's the thing what I do sometimes. Other than that, I'm a person who plays video games on the internet for the, hopefully, enjoyment of strangers. I'll put off more personal Q&A stuff until another Q&A episode, which might happen at some point. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and then I'll just stockpile all of those and put them in a Q&A episode. And also, I think it was Potato Rotations wanted to know the circumference of the Earth. 40,000 kilometers. Well, 40,035 kilometers. And that shit is off the top of my fucking head. Oi. I only read the Wikipedia page earlier today. I'm not going to give it in miles, because miles is bullshit. Learn metric, motherfuckers. There's also the final update that I do have to give in this episode. Why haven't you done a singing video yet? Where is the singing video? What's happening with the singing video? Well, the problem is I have very selective amnesia, and I've lost all muscle memory that is required for singing. I only managed just to get speaking back yesterday, so I'm in a really weird position with regards to that. But over the next week, I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of progress. Up until then, my name has been Ryan, the name of the channel has been Rhapsody. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself with whatever you choose to watch. There are playlists in the description for all of the new series and also Legend of Grimrock 1. There's also the schedule in 4 different time zones right down there in the description. If you did like the video, please click like. It does help me get my content out to new people. And hopefully, we'll see you next time.